Two quick things before we get started here. Number one, recommended round for this video is round 4. It's absolutely wild. Number two, there will be weekend content, so come back on Saturday and Sunday for some bonus videos. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher, ThrabenU here for another legacy video. Edward H. required me to play a painter deck, and I found the spiciest possible deck list. So the deck design here is by Connor Fulse, aka Lomer Boy. Um, who yeah, this is a monstrosity, a masterpiece, a thing of beauty. All right, so let's start with the core painter combo, and then we'll explain why this version is so spicy. So, Painter Servant allows you to choose a color and turn all cards that aren't on the battlefield, spells, permanents, into that chosen color in addition to their other colors. Note, this includes in other zones that aren't the battlefield. Okay? So, what we're going to do normally is activate a Grindstone while we control a Painter Servant, and the cards share a color, and this will infinitely mill the opponent out. However, if the cards in all zones are green, that means Green Sun Zenith becomes a tutor for any creature. And that means that Natural Order becomes a tutor for any creature. Okay? And when I say any creature, I mean any creature. So we have the normal Painter Grindstone combo that our opponent has to worry about. And we also have this whole like natural order thing that our opponent has to worry about too. I made minimal changes from the deck list that Connor sent me. I added 2 more mana sources. When I initially sent this list to the Painter Discord, they were like, 16 lands? Really? And while the Mox Opals and Lotus Petals like do absolutely compensate for that, I kind of reluctantly threw in a pair of Savannahs and said like, okay, yeah, you might be right. Especially since some of these lands like Urza's Saga and Boseiju, and kind of Dryad Arbor have like spell aspects to them as well. I don't really feel bad about having air quotes too many mana sources in the deck. Now, one of the upsides of playing a bunch of things like Lotus Petal, Mox Opal, and where is it? Springleaf Drum as well, is that we can get a little greedy with some of the targets that we can play, and we can just play some extremely high power level cards that might instantly win us some games. Now, there are a couple of cute things in this deck list that I'm a little unsure about. Essica's Chariot being one of the primary examples of that. This is a card that sees play in Vintage a little bit because, like, you have lands that can tap for 3 mana to work towards casting this. I don't want to cut this card without trying it because, like, we do have a lot of mana and this can be a relatively early play. But I'm somewhat skeptical that this is actually good enough. I would like to be proven wrong, though, and have some 6 screenshots of killing people with cat chariots. As far as the sideboard goes, we have a few other tutor targets for our natural order slash green suns, and otherwise we have a bunch of kind of anti-blue stuff. We have Carpet of Flowers to help stabilize our mana. We have Chokes and Endurances to kind of fight the fight against blue decks from other angles as well. And basically this league is going to be shenanigans, and I think it is going to be a lot of fun. If you're new here and you end up liking the content, please consider subscribing. And if you're a regular, please throw me a like before this video begins. Likes and comments are the easiest ways to support my content for free. Let's battle. All right, round 1 opening hand here doesn't look very good. We can play Ancient Tomb into 2 artifacts, but our mana doesn't really work out. How good is this natural order without a painter? We don't have a game 1 green target, right? Well, I mean, like, technically I have some targets, but I don't have a big game-ending green creature for game 1. Because this could be a turn 3 natural order, but I have to draw Painter for that to be good. That's unfortunate. Maybe the Progenitor should be in the deck for game 1. Well, on 5, we're probably keeping, but I'm unhappy with this. We'll keep this, pitch a Griselbrand, pitch a natural order. And I'll start things off with a green sun for Dryad Arbor. Connor assured me that this league would either be a 5-0 or an 0-5 with nothing in between. So we'll see how this turns out. I really don't want my Dryad Arbor getting removed. Okay. Playing against a like human tribal deck. Yep. Ooh. Ooh. Nick Fit. Haven't seen Nick Fit in a hot minute. I think that I probably just remove this thing, despite the fact that I kind of want to get some basic lands because I have like disappearing lands of my own. I think kind of like my two paths to victory here are just like riding out some Urza Saga tokens or drawing a painter, because I can get a grindstone off of Urza Saga if I draw a painter and just like have a way to win ready to go. Otherwise, it's just like construct time. Yeah, I really want a game 1 green natural order target, I think. We'll see how I feel about that after a couple of games. So there's like an alarm bell in my head asking me to like make a construct token right now to play around Sudden Edict, but my opponent might have sorcery speed things that can kill this construct token. So I don't know that I'm actually supposed to play around that. All right, what do we got? And oh, it's just an Eternal Witness for a land. That's not bad at all. I'm good with that, and I can go ahead and just make my construct now then. See what we draw. A Grist. Grist is cool. So let's make our construct here, and then I have to figure out what I'm getting. Might just get the Grindstone so that Painter can represent a kill. Retrofitter Foundry is something to do with my mana, though. I guess I have Shadowspear equipped to do with my mana. I'll just grab a Grindstone. Probably sufficiently confusing for my opponent. So that'll drop them to 14. I need to kill my opponent in the next couple of turns before Nick Fit can start doing Nick Fit bullshit and just like drop a Pernicious Deed and ruin my life. Although I guess Pernicious Deed could ruin my life this turn. Another human. Oh, fuck. It's Witherbloom Apprentice Chain of Smog. I think I'm dead here. Yeah, that is Witherbloom Apprentice Chain of Smog. So if you're not familiar with this combo, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And this process just repeats and my opponent will drain me out. So I am dead. I'm going to wait and see what cards they discard, and then I will go ahead and concede. All right, so we are playing against Witherbloom Apprentice Chain of Smog combo. I think I would have won game 1 if I have, like, Progenitus in my deck. So I don't need to worry about my stuff being countered. Opponent is probably not drawing very many cards. Is my opponent going to be playing Pernicious Deed? If so, I really want this needle as an option. Plague Engineer is kind of awkward here. I don't really want to, like, put it on human and just instantly kill Veteran Explorers. How many big, dumb, stupid things do I put in the deck, just as a side note? I think I'll keep Magus in there. I don't want too many big, dumb things. I want a green one that I can natural order for. Alesh Norn kills Veteran Explorers and also kills Witherbloom Apprentice. So with Archon, Alesh Norn, or Iona in play, it's pretty difficult for my opponent to combo off and win. Progenitus is just a way to kill them quickly. That they basically can't interact with. Let's put the Progenitus in there. Then I think I want one of Alesh Norn, Archon, Iona. I'm not sure which one. Iona on black's pretty hot. I guess I need to board in one more card. The Alesh Norn it up. Okay. This is just an Urza Saga beatdown hand. Just turn 1, Grindstone, turn 2, Ancient Tomb, make critters. At any point I draw a painter, I have an easy win. I have 2 air quotes dead cards in hand. I think it's still a keep. Like this opener's just powerful. But as things stand now, this isn't great at stopping a quick combo hand. I can get a Mox Opal in a couple of turns with Urza Saga, and then that can be my mana fixing for white. But I just kind of have to hope that my opponent can't do anything too crazy in the meantime. Alright, are we seeing a Veteran Explorer on turn 1? We are. I don't have the white source immediately to Source of Plowshares or Prismatic ending that, unfortunately, with the way this hand opened up. I don't really want to draw that either. That's okay, though. We'll continue the beatdown, and then, like, awkwardly, Veteran Explorer being sacrificed will give me the white mana I need. That can mean that I can answer a future, like, Witherbloom Apprentice or something. Okay, Veteran Explorer is coming in, which makes me feel like my opponent has something like a Sudden Edict that is just going to eat this token. It also could be Abrupt Decay on Grindstone so that these trade. Or maybe opponent just wants the mana. Yeah, maybe opponent just wants the mana. Alright, I'm actually just gonna take that. I shouldn't have made the token now then. Alright. Alright, there is a Witherbloom Apprentice. There is a natural order that I cannot cast yet. So let's make a token. Fish out a Mox Opal. Play a land. Play a Safekeeper. I'll bash in for 4. And I can leave up Swords to Plowshares on Witherbloom Apprentice for if my opponent goes for the combo. I'm not going to remove it now because, like, Chain of Smog will make them discard 2 cards if they go for it. Alright, let's Cabal Therapy, target me. That almost certainly names Swords to Plowshares in this spot. I'm just going to go ahead and fire off my removal spell in response. Fine with taking the 1 damage here. And my opponent will almost certainly miss with the first side of Cabal Therapy. They are an absolute psychic if they hit one of these. Yep, Painter Servant is a fine name. Actually, it really isn't, right? Because, like, if I had Painter, I would have just won last turn. Grindstone was already in play. Yeah, this is at least 3 mana. Yeah, maybe that isn't actually a good name. I understand that they're afraid of it, but they would be dead if I had it. Alright, so I will use this ability. Go get my basic plains. I already have my forest in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana showing. I'm actually pretty close to just casting an Eleshnorn, oddly enough. Okay, they are taking the Prismatic ending. There's an Ancient Den. I don't think I attack in. So there's Opposition Agent as something that my opponent could have. I don't know that I want to cast Natural Order into Opposition Agent. Just kind of spooked about that because that's just like such an easy way to lose the game from this otherwise extremely favorable position. You know, I don't think I'm going to cast Natural Order into 3 open mana. And, like, opponent knew that I had this and, like, left 3 mana up and didn't take it with Therapy. They took Ending. This just feels like a trap. And I'm not going to go there. We're just going to chill and make my opponent answer this shit. I am so good at Magic. There's the Soul Read. Alright, what do you got? Speed is a kick in the teeth. Alright, I don't think I want to Grindstone my opponent since they do have, whatchamacallit, Eternal Witness in their deck. Unfortunately, Deed's wording is destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment, so I do lose my artifact lands with that, which means I'm not 1 mana away from casting Eleshnorn anymore. Hey! That's mostly good. So the search side of Urza's Saga, a couple turns from now, will be a bit of a downside. But I'm kind of just hoping to murder my opponent in the meantime. We've reached the Nick Fit stage of the game though, where if my opponent has big dumb things like, you know, your Thragtusk, your Titanias and whatnot, they absolutely will have their opportunity to just take over the game. Dryad Arbor with Natural Order is almost good. Almost good. Another opposition agent? It is an Endurance. That's fine. We're just gonna go ahead and return those things to my deck. Alright, as soon as opponent top decks something scary, I'm in trouble. Like, I'm already kind of in trouble. Fuck! Stop it! Yeah. So, each artifact, creature, and enchantment. Enchantment. I will make my token with pride, and I will allow my token to be destroyed as well. That's brutal. I don't think I can come back from that. I take 6 here, go to 2. Ancient Tomb is off. Source of Plowshares on one of these doesn't do anything. Yeah, I think we just got absolutely bodied by Nick Fit. Oh god, there's more. Alright, sure. Ancient Tomb again. I'll show myself the door. GG's. Okay, I'm not really happy with this hand. I basically just have, like, mana and Painter Servants. I don't really have the balance of things that I need. Speaking of not having balance, this hand does not work either. Let's mulligan again. At this point, I'll be keeping. The 100% Iona goes back in the deck. And I don't think I'm in a situation to keep Magus of the Moon as of right now. This may be another hand where, like, not having a game 1 good green natural order target is rough. Opponent says, I'm only mildly concerned about shenanigans this early in the morning. Sweats. I would never do even one shenanigan. Alright. Let's see what sort of unfair deck my opponent is on. My default assumption when my opponent leads on Underground Sea is usually that it's going to be Doomsday as of right now. Like, that's not the only thing it can be. There are many Underground Sea decks, but Doomsday is relatively strong, resilient, and popular. If you're interested in kind of hearing about, like, trying to deduce what your opponent might be playing based on the things that you see in their hands, please check out the latest episode of the Eternal Glory podcast. I will be leading on Painter's Servant here. Everything is green. So my plan, assuming my opponent can't remove Painter's Servant, is to play Dryad Arbor next turn into Natural Order the following turn, and probably just grab Iona. I assume Iona naming black or blue will be pretty good. There's a world where I want to lead on Soul Guide Lantern instead of Painter, because I can play Painter next turn off Ancient Tomb just as easily. So, like, I could lead on Boseiju Soul Guide Lantern instead. But there's some worlds where opponent, like, plays out an artifact like a Wishclaw Talisman or something that I might want to Boseiju. Okay. That's all they've got going on. I think I'll go ahead and make my attack. Give that little love tap here before doing anything else. Possible we're playing against the control deck and I'll eat, like, a Sudden Edict or something here. Alright. So I'll play Soul Guide Lantern. Ponder out of their graveyard. Play Retrofitter Foundry. Damn Dryad Arbor, and kind of hope that opponent doesn't have a big Haymaker, like a Hidetsugu Consumes All or something. Okay, it is starting to look like Grixis lands over there. Okay, alright, we are Storm. Alright. I am probably one turn too slow here. Alright, there's a Rite of Flame. I have, like, very weak interaction in hand. So, my chances of disrupting whatever happens here are pretty low. Yeah. But I had the turn 3 natural order for Iona, and I would have named black given what I saw. Okay, there's a Wishclaw Talisman. Opponent has 5 mana. Go down to 4 mana here in activating this. Alright, so I now get this Wishclaw Talisman, but I expect that Oh! I will get a turn. This is Galvanic Relay. Okay, opponent just woke up and kind of miscounted, so they are having to pass the turn here. Also, do I have a Grindstone kill just right now? Need 4 mana. Yeah, I just have a Grindstone kill. Activate this, play new land, activate Grindstone. Yep. Oh, I'm an idiot. I have to cast the Grindstone. It doesn't put it directly into play. Oh, I just punted that back. I just punted that back. Oh my god. I should have just natural ordered. Oh, I feel like an idiot. I'm so used to tutoring with Urza Saga. Fuck. Okay. I think I need to try to salvage this. Draw a card here. Yeah, I fucked that up. Alright. Alright, so I'll play out these cards. I'll attack for 1. I kill next turn, but my opponent can almost certainly kill from here. Alright. So, opponent has access to so many cards and a Wishclaw Talisman here. They just get to ad nauseum, and I die for my mistake. Alright. Can't be mad about it, just gotta get good. Also just, like, so hard for them to go and win if I put an Iona into play. Like, they have to grape shot me without using any black mana or tutors. Alright, what are we looking at here? That should kill already. Storm is 6, I am at 14. Yeah, just LED into Burning Wish into Tendrils is a kill already. Yeah, I guess I can just build Storm Count, it's fine. But they have it. Alright. There's more mana with the Rite of Flame. There's the Burning Wish. I am going to make them show me the Tendrils here. Want to confirm that it is there, but I should be very dead. Alright, there's the Tendrils. I will concede to that. GG's. That was on me. So I'm going to have a lot of things that are going to be bad in this matchup. So, like, I don't really need swords for sure. I don't really need a grist ever. Give me Deafening Silence. Give me Pithing Needle. I'll play some amount of this stuff too. Probably don't need Retrofitter Foundry. I'm almost always going to get Pithing Needle for Wishclaw Talisman if I get Urza Saga, or get Grindstone and go for a kill. So that's fine. Force of Vigor on Wishclaw Talismans that are played out, or Artifact mana that's played out, is fine. Endurance can stop some Past in Flames based shenanigans and is just an okay beater. Griselbrand is specifically good if I natural order after my opponent casts and empty the warrens, but I can leave Plague Engineer in the deck for that. We'll get like Archon instead. Don't really need Sylvan Safekeeper and Allosaurus Shepherd. They're things to sacrifice for in natural order. There's a Force of Vigor. Maybe don't need something like an Essica's Chariot, and it's just better to play more interaction. Unsure about Choke. It does stuff. My opponent has so much artifact mana. Alright. Ancient Tomb, Painter Servant, Mox, Opal, and I can just work towards playing Natural Order or Archon. That's fine. Not the fastest hand in the world, but it produces a turn 2 Archon in some cases, where I draw a 0-drop artifact. It, like, does have a piece of interaction versus a played out Wishclaw Talisman. Like, does have a Sylvan Library to dig towards something that gets a kill. It's possible mulliganing this is better, since I do have, like, Deafening Silences and stuff that I can hit for the matchup. I have, like, 8 0-drop artifacts to hit, or I guess 7 0-drop artifacts to hit to just give me a kill next turn. And a lot of draws that just lead towards a turn 3 Goldfish, which is probably fast enough on the play. I think I would have mulliganed this hand on the draw, though. Alright, looks like opponent's just going to pass the turn. I think I play Dryad Arbor and go for Natural Order next turn, rather than play Sylvan Library this turn. And I'll take my Love Tap. So this is the big turn where I'm vulnerable if my opponent just tries to go for it. But it wouldn't surprise me if my opponent took one turn to set up and, like, Duress or something. Although it's a little weird that they didn't just play, like, a cantrip or a discard spell on one. Okay, it's just end of turn Brainstorm to try to smooth things out. That's fine. Okay, good. It looks like I am going to get another turn. Alright, there's a land. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, that's fine if that's what happens. Okay, this is starting to look scarier. Uh-huh. So this now guarantees that Ad Naus can happen. So this will be an activation of Wishclaw Talisman for Ad Nauseam, which will leave 1 black mana floating. That should be good enough for a kill. Alright, here we go. Let's see how good this is. Opponent is hitting very well here. Oh, just Natural Tendrils. Natural Tendrils probably beats me already, right? Storm is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like they can go until they hit a little more mana, but they've got it here. Alright, they're continuing to flip just a little bit. Yeah, they can just stop when they hit a Dark Ritual. Alright, I will F6 here. I see the writing on the wall. Yeah. So I punted game 1. I was 1 turn too slow on the play here. Maybe I should have mulliganed this hand. But like it had my turn 3 kill in air quotes. All right. I can see the writing on the wall here. They've got the correct amount and type of mana. I'm going to go ahead and concede here. GG's. All right, we have been paired against a Gyruda deck, which used to be a very degenerate and popular combo deck, but now has kind of been relegated to other areas. Full Guide Lantern will have some impact versus this deck, as will Outland Liberator, but my hand kind of does nothing and has a dead Mox Opal. I think I'm just better off mulliganing. This is fine. This is a turn 3 Goldfish as is. So this will be turn 1 Urza Saga, turn 2 Painter, turn 3 Kill. We'll see if my opponent can kill faster than me. There's a couple of different decks my opponent could be on. The one that I've seen most recently is a Bomberman deck list. But you used to just play a bunch of like clone effects and then make your like copying the Gyruda. I guess I should pull this card up. So when this thing ETBs, each player mills 4 cards. Put a creature card with an even mana value from among them onto the battlefield under your control. Chalice on 0, absolutely. Okay. They picked up both Seiju with Once Upon a Time, which is kind of annoying. I think that's one of it is what it is situations. I'm just going to put them to the test. Like, here's my Painter Servant. Everything's green. They can destroy it, like, because they have another green land. Cool. If not, they're dead. Like, when you are playing a multicolor Ancient Tomb deck, your mana is not stable. And opponent can't use, like, Lotus Petal or LED type mana to cast it. Alright. That's fine. Like a Prismatic Ending or something. Chalice on 1. Yeah, you're dead. Cool. Float mana. Hit Grindstone. Play land. Activate Grindstone. See, this is what I wanted to do in previous rounds, but we weren't very good at drawing painters. I don't really have enough information about my opponent's deck to know fully how to sideboard. Like, Deafening Silence doesn't stop with the creature spam that Gyruda can do. Carpet's not good, Choke's not good. Gyruda put them in graveyard, or does it put them in another zone? It's been a little while. I'm going to check myself here. Top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Put a creature card with even... Yeah, okay. So, since this is a single trigger, I don't actually have an opportunity to endurance in between. Alright, let's start with what I don't want. I do not want Plague Engineer. I do want a green natural order target. Probably just the protection from everything Progenitus, given that my opponent has a bunch of creatures. Force of Vigor is probably good. My opponent is playing Chalices and some amount of artifact mana. Get these in here over something. If my opponent is playing the Bomberman side, Endurance is reasonable for that reason as well. Sylvan Safekeeper can probably go. Soul Breacher can probably go. Magus can probably go. Actually, Pithing Needle's fine against the Bomberman side. That means I should probably cut one of these. The Retrofitter Foundry can go. I just have other targets. And at this point, maybe 3 Endurance is too many. I'll just play 2. The sideboarding is wild with this deck. There's just so many singletons and weird things in it. This Goldfish is pretty quickly, but dies immediately to a Chalice of the Void. This is a turn 3 Goldfish if I draw another mana source. I think I just mulligan, though. This hand is so awkward and is just dead to a handful of things instantly. This hand's also awkward. Like, it has Painter and Grindstone and 2 mana. Not in a way that curves out well. I think I'd rather mulligan again, honestly. Yeah, I'll keep this. I pitch 1 Ancient Tomb, and then probably Ancient Den beyond that. I'll have to decide whether or not I'm playing an Urza Saga game or like a Dryad Arbor mana acceleration game, depending on kind of what happens. 2 mana very quickly. else on 1. Okay. That's fine. That took a lot of resources. Okay, we're just doing the same fucking thing as last game, apparently. Yep. And that draw absolutely makes me want to do that. And this is an artifact land, so the Mox Opal is on. Alright. This will really need to Ancient Tomb this turn. Can I just play Forest this turn? Just Forest into Painter. Probably just play Forest into Painter. Not take life or play an artifact that could be destroyed. Yeah. Alright. Everything is green. And I'm just threatening a kill again. Alright. Load a mana. Put a Grindstone into play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Did I board out Sylvan Safekeeper? Did board out Sylvan Safekeeper. I kind of want it in this exact spot. That's okay, though. So I will cast a Mox Opal. Still got 3 mana here. I'm going to cast an Outland Liberator. And I think pass the turn. Well, I guess attacking for 1 is fine. I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to go for it here. I can just make my opponent hold up mana forever. And then like try to take them off of Mox Opal. Although, what am I playing around? Not Swords to Plowshares. I guess it's both Seiju. Yeah, I guess it's both Seiju. The Lotus Petal's fine. Okay, cool. So let's play 3 Lotus Petal. I'm going to cast a Green Sun for X equals 2. So this is going to allow me to get another Painter Servant. I will do. Everything is green. And now I can safely go off through both Seiju. So there's 3 damage for my opponent. I'll go to their turn and attempt the kill. Yeah, okay. Green Sun for another Painter's Servant to play around removal. That was really sick. Okay. I don't really have enough mana to make this hand work. I'm so close to a turn 3 Goldfish, but I have 2 dead cards and not enough mana and a disappearing land. I'm going to go ahead and skip that one. Yeah. All right. We're going to end up keeping an awkward hand here and just kind of do the Urza Saga thing. I don't think I'm going to show Lotus Petal on turn 1. The, like, Thalia, Trinosphere type effects are a reason to play it out. I'm not super worried about, like, discard or anything. Rather just hide that information and make it not be able to be hit by a Prismatic Ending. Alright, so we are going to be playing against something with a similar Urza Saga package. Oh, fuck yeah. Absolutely. Alright. I'm just killing my opponent next turn in many cases, unless they have Expedition Map for Wasteland. So let's play around that, actually. So I can go Lotus Petal, Prismatic Ending to get rid of Expedition Map. Then I want to hide Ancient Tomb in hand, so I think I'll play Tree of Tales into Painter Servant. Everything's green. And here's to hoping I have the turn 3 Goldfish. Okay, so we're probably playing against the Depths deck. Absolutely fuck me. Oh, no. And because I didn't play Ancient Tomb, I don't even get a fucking Construct? Fuck! Oh. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, no. This is a roller coaster of emotion. They chose Grindstone. Now, you see, all cards that aren't on the battlefield, spells and permanents, are the chosen color, in addition to their other colors. Now, fuck. So, the good news is I have Endurance. I can cast that. Bad news is my opponent can just fucking activate it again. So, you know. Yeah. They activate a Grindstone. They mill me out. You feel like your victory is assured. And then all of a sudden, God damn it. Could have attacked with your opposition agent and let me kill it and make my moment of victory even sweeter. Play Endurance. Endurance. Target me. Put those back in library. And now I top deck my own Grindstone. Fuck. Alright, well, we tried. Concede. Alright. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. Okay. What am I doing with my life? Do I want more copies of Endurance as insurance versus that thing that just happened there? Probably not. I probably don't want Hull Breacher. Probably do want a green natural order target. Let's pick Progenitus, I guess. Protection from everything matters. I probably want Pithing Needle in here. And now I'm thinking about just playing more Endurances since they have some utility. Plague Engineer can probably go. Magus is interesting at some points. Soul Guide Lantern can pretty easily go. I need a Griselbrand. I don't know that I need a Griselbrand if I'm bringing in Progenitus. Let's try this. I don't think I like this one. It can do some things with an Urza Saga, but I think I'd rather just mulligan. Okay. Unexciting hand. I think I'll keep it. This is going to be one of those hands where I hope my opponent does not have access to opposition agent because it will crush me. And this will be Urza Saga pass. And we're just trying to play the whole Urza Saga Ancient Tomb game, which we've showcased on this channel plenty of times. You know, I'm really hoping to showcase the whole natural order for something big and dumb that I'm not allowed to natural order for side of the deck, but, you know, press is fine. I'm fine with losing the Mox Opal. Yeah, I think the Sylvan Library is a much better card. Alright, there is an Endurance. Dryad Arbor is green. I can pitch to that if need be. So there's a Mox Opal. There's an Ancient Tomb. Mox Opal will be on as of next turn. My opponent could make a Merit Lodge. They're right here. Just go Dark Depths into Vampire Hexmage Merit Lodge. And I can't really beat that. Yeah, alright. I'll make my thing. Now I need them to mess up and wait to make it so that I can Pithing Needle. Okay. My opponent dead. Urza Saga. 1. Get Grindstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total mana. Yeah, my opponent's dead. Cool. Grindstone. Land drop. Painter Servant. Everything's green. Grindstone. Target you. Cool, cool, cool. Anyway, I was very confident that I had this one the whole time. Yep. All right. So, this deck top deck's okay. Actually, Plague Engineer does technically do something versus Vampire Hexmage, huh? Plague Engineer is probably better than Essica's Chariot. All right, now, if I natural order, is there a world where I want Griselbrand or a Leshnorn? Leshnorn can stop a Vampire Hexmage from being played. It can stop future opposition agents from being played. It has text. Not insane. I don't know that it's better than just like having another green creature that I can natural order away. I hit submit here. It kind of feels like we're standing still and punching each other in the face. This has a turn 3 goldfish again. I will keep this. A Thoughtseize specifically taking the painter would be kind of a pain in the ass. Oh, Opal's cool. Alright. Storm is 1. Storm is 2. Storm is 3. Urza Saga. Painter Servant. Everything's green. I have a turn 3 goldfish that has protection from just dying to like a Merit Lodge. And it doesn't just fold to opposition agent either. Okay. Block. Okay. I maybe beat that. That sure is annoying. It also means I just don't have like fucking white mana. Okay. Poke Karn. And try to make some increasingly shrinking Urza Saga tokens. I don't know. Opponent might have sweet tutor targets or something. Yeah, this game has just been like fucking haymakers back and forth. Yeah. What's your follow-up? Vampire Hexmage, absolutely. Kind of annoying because it just like gets in the way of these constructs trying to kill Karn while Karn kills a Lotus Petal caliber card every turn. I can't make that mana work because of Karn. I'll make my construct. 5/5. I think I just take Grindstone to have the kill if I do take Karn out of play. I will bash in with all of these at Karn. Hopefully get rid of Vampire Hexmage while paying Karn for 1. Yep, that's fine. Opponent resetting the counters on their Urza Saga land, which is smart so that it doesn't disappear. Absolutely respect the line there. That is not a common line that comes up. I really start getting into trouble if opponent has something like an Ensnaring Bridge that they wish for. I brought in... No, I didn't bring in Force of Vigor. Okay, there's the tutor. Okay, they've got a Pithing Needle for Grindstone. That's totally reasonable. Oh, and there is a follow-up play, a Thoughtseize. Absolutely. That needs to take my natural order. Yep, alright. Good stuff. Alright. So one of these constructs attacks Karn, the other attacks them. Painter Servant attacks them. Alright, that's a big swing in the right direction for me. I have a Swords to Plowshares for their Urza Saga token and the ability to play it. We're a little ways away from hard casting a Progenitus, just for those of you counting the mana at home. Let's see what sort of cool stuff they have. Okay, we just get a win here. That was a wild match. Absolutely going to be the recommended round of the league, and we're 2-2 right now. All right, we are going absolutely turbo here. Lotus Petal, Box Opal, Urza Saga, and I'm wondering if I just play Sylvan Library on turn 1. Painter on turn 1. I think I just play Painter on turn 1. Like, if I do this, I can Ancient Tomb Urza Saga and make some constructs if the whole Grindstone plan doesn't seem to be working out. All right. Everything is green. And again, anytime you start on Urza Saga and you have Painter Servant, it is a turn 3 Goldfish. I actually kill next turn if I draw a Grindstone, which is wild. That's fine. Ooh, they're prismatic ending that immediately. Unfortunately, friend, that is not going to do what you want it to do. I have Ancient Tomb. Urza Saga, Ancient Tomb. Match made in heaven. So, like, opponent has to have removal for Painter Servant, or they die. I guess technically they could be an Endurance deck as well, and that would be fine. Esper Sentinel is fine. Let's Urza Saga. I think my opponent has Swords to Plowshares. So I don't think I'm going to go for the combo kill this turn. I think I'll just wait a turn, make another construct, and bully my opponent. Like, if I go for the combo here, I miss out on making a token. And making the token sounds sick to me. It just doesn't make sense for my opponent to Prismatic Ending away the mana source if they can't answer Painter Servant. I will just grab a Grindstone here still. Play Tree of Tales. I'm not going to play Soul Guide Lantern, though. I don't want to give my opponent a card. So, bash in for 6 this turn. I'm threatening a combo kill at any point. The opponent has to use removal on Painter Servant or die to Painter Grindstone combo, while also respecting that I have 10 power in play worth of constructs. That probably becomes 12 power next turn. Oh, although I don't know, like they can remove a Painter Servant. That's fine. Into Dark Confidant, absolutely. So opponent dies to an Ancient Tomb at this point. Would I be fine trading Painter Servant for both of these creatures? Absolutely. I don't think I play Soul Guide Lantern pre-combat. Let's go ahead and crash in. Okay, there's the chump block. Puts my opponent to 6. Now I can play post-combat Soul Guide Lantern to further grow these. I don't expect any of this stuff being in graveyard to be relevant, I guess. Like Snapcaster Mage is the thing that could theoretically exist. There are also a lot of worlds where this Bob bleeds my opponent to death, even if I can't get in for the last couple of points of damage for some reason. And at any point, resolving the Sylvan Library will be gross. I do not believe I attack with Painter's Servant into an opposition agent type card here. I think I will just crash in with both constructs and call it good. All right, there is a Source of Plowshares on 1, which means this is no longer a lethal attack. They are blocking anyway because Bob is very likely to kill them if they don't. And we'll kind of see where things go from here. All right, that is a concession. I like how I played that game in pressuring my opponent's resources and making them respect the combo. While not taking risks in just going for it and losing to a swords. Because we did learn later that they had a swords. All right, playing against some sort of Espery deck. Got some card advantage. Opponent could be like a Stoneblade deck. Opponent could be an Esper control deck. I didn't really see that many cards, right? I saw Esper Sentinel, Dark Confidant, Source of Plowshares, Esper Lands. I don't think I want some of this stuff. My opponent can just be playing things like Baleful Strix that make it super awkward to have these, non-evasion creatures. I think I'm going to cut both of these. Play a Progenitus. I don't hate Alesh Norn, honestly, as my other target. It's just going to kill most of my opponent's creatures. And then I want to think about this stuff. Hullbreacher is probably actively good. Probably don't want to cut that against, the Esper Sentinels. Might, Brim this. Brim Outland Liberator. Give me some chokes. From a Lotus Petal for a carpet. From a Mox Opal for a carpet. Essica's Chariot is probably cuttable. Oh shit. Essica's Chariot, you're in. That's an awkward hand. The mana here probably just isn't stable enough for this to be keepable. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay. This is awkward. I think I keep it. I think I throw Dryad Arbor back in the deck to Green Sun for it. And I get a pretty fast Hull Breacher. Hopefully does some cool things. Alright. I have, stable mana as well. Maybe I play Lotus Petal first. Yeah, I'll play Lotus Petal first. And then jam the Green Sun for Dryad Arbor. Plays around Daze. I don't know that my opponent has that. It's something that's basically always on my radar in Legacy, though. This plays around Daze and lets me Swords to Plowshares if I need to in some emergency instance. Yeah, I'll hold up Hull Breacher here in case my opponent casts a cantrip. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe I'm not supposed to take the attack to play around Daze. Also just a respectable clock at this point. Ooh, okay. Potentially seeing a fetch into a Brainstorm here. That is Daze. Into Surgical Extraction on my Singleton Hull Breacher. You can't make this shit up. Alright. I'll just resolve Sylvan. Oh, I'll resolve a lot of stuff this turn, actually. Let's play a Library. Let's paint it all green. Token for 1 point of damage. And opponent is absolutely on the back foot here. I am about to refuel and can threaten to combo off this turn. I will absolutely use this ability. I'm going to put a choke back on top of Library. I'll pay to just get through this. Because of Spell Pierce specifically, I want to play this choke free combat while I still have Spell Pierce up. Spell Pierce mana up, rather. Alright, that is a force. Pitching a force. I will just choke again next turn. Alright. Unless I find something better to do. Which I did not. Put Lotus Petal back. I'll pay to hit my land drop. Saves me 2 life from Ancient Tomb by playing it. There's a resolved choke. Back for 2. Opponent has 1 land, is at 10 life, and is under a resolved choke. I have 2 cards that can get whatever creatures they play out of the way. Yeah, this has been a disaster hand for the opponent. Carpet of Flowers is probably the thing I take here. Notice can go on top. Lotus Petal can go on top. I'll play out the carpet. Crash in for 2. Opponent's at 8. Don't need to make mana. And that is the point where we get the concession, and we end up 3-2 in the league. Overall thoughts on the deck list. Great idea. I don't think the execution is quite right. So I think that if you want to play green painter, you should just lean into green painter and stop fucking around with this sort of stuff. So I think that like if you want to make this whole like natural order for like green stuff work, you should just do that. So I would want to not play the off color natural order targets in game one, I think. I think I would just play Archon Progenitus in the main deck and then consider other options for the sideboard. Um, I boarded out like most of these off color cards in most of the rounds, and I don't know that the options of these are necessary. You can end up with better natural orders and more consistent other things that you can cast. So I think the general core of this idea is good. I'm very glad that I added more lands. I generally speaking had stuff to do with my mana. But as far as like the chopping block goes, I would probably look at chopping a lot of this stuff. Green Sun to accelerate to Dryad Arbor was fine. Green Sun to fish out another painter from the deck was like chef's kiss in that one spot where I'd like set up a very good trap. Was super happy with that. But a lot of the games that we won were on like Urza Saga Ancient Tomb starts or Urza Saga Painter starts. So the natural order plan wasn't super consistent in this league. It's something that I think if you play more copies of it and you play a few more green creatures to kind of make it a like plan C, I think it becomes more reasonable. But I think in order for it to be good, the creatures have to be green innately, at least in game one. And I think I would need a few more green creatures in the deck to naturally sacrifice to them as well. As far as the sideboard goes, I very much liked the options that I had access to. I don't know that you need a full-on, like, 5 fatties in the 75 for 2 natural orders. If you end up playing 4 natural orders or something like that, I think that changes the math on it. But as is, I'd probably want to cut one of the fatties in some capacity. Yeah, I think that's what I have to say here. I hope you all enjoyed. That was kind of a roller coaster of a league. Please consider hitting the like button on your way out and have a great rest of the day. See ya.